I have been looking at an influx of a lot of videos that have been recommended to me, and you will not believe, I mean, probably from the title you can guess, what has been recommended to me as of late. And I'm so serious. It's been a lot of different Black in Germany videos. Now, I wanted to talk about this because I've seen a few of them, and you guys have probably seen some of my reactions on some of those videos, and you've heard my thoughts. I mean, you know what you're getting into if you see a reaction from me. I talk forever, so a lot of you guys might already know my opinions on that, but for those that don't, and even for the ones that already did, I noticed something interesting amongst all of those videos that I wanted to talk about, so I figured why not make a video about it today. So obviously I'm going to lead this with everybody's experience is 100% different. I have a lot of Black friends that are in Germany right now that say it's the best thing ever. They don't want to leave. They want to stay in Germany. And they have not just been to big cities in Germany. They've been to small towns too. And they love it. They absolutely love it. There's a lot of issues that were brought up in the Black in Germany videos that I saw. Now, I'll put it this way. There was a big difference between the videos of Black in Germany from women versus the Black in Germany videos from men. Now, the ones I've seen from men, all of them, for the most part, by a landslide, said that they had a great experience, they would live there. But the women, on the other hand, I would say more than 60% of them said that they did not have a good experience and they would rather not live there. So I thought that was pretty interesting, going off of that, right? So let's lead with one issue that I keep hearing in all of the Black in Germany videos, which is there's a lot of staring, and I hate. So at first, right, when I very first watched, the Black in Germany video from a random YouTuber, she was like, "Oh yeah, like all these people were staring at me because I'm different, I'm Black, da da da." And then in my head, initially, I'm like, "Well, I think it might just be because you're a foreigner, and people tend to stare at things that are kind of out of the norm." That's what my initial thought was. But after talking with a lot of you guys that are from Germany, that's just the culture. You guys stare at everything. I mean, you could be on a train and somebody could be on their phone. You could just be like this. Yeah, and the thing is too, like, I mean, you could stare and somebody will look and stare at you back and you'll still be staring at them like, "Oh, hi." I've just been watching what you're doing, no big deal. But there were other incidences too, that people were like, "Oh yeah, like I got stares, the horrid stares. People gave me these dirty looks." And yes, you're gonna have people that give you dirty looks wherever you go. But to me, I feel like it's so much deeper than that. I feel like it's just the fact that people just do it. People just stare, A lot of the people's experiences that I also watched happen to come from big cities too. And me, formerly being from a big city myself, Chicago, I've talked about it a lot. One of the biggest things that is a part of that culture is you're not really supposed to stare at people because it makes you feel hostile. It can make you feel hostile. If I stare at somebody else, they can feel hostile and they think that I'm eyeing them down, analyzing them, planning on robbing them or something like that. People feel very uncomfortable, or just simply judging them if you stare at them too long. So that's probably where that kind of came in. That's kind of a culture shock / clash that kind of happened there. But I kept hearing that in all of the videos, and I'm like, what? Okay, so that was one thing. The other thing is people wanted to touch your hair, right? So I actually, for the men that made the video, they didn't complain about it. Like, I think it's whatever, it's fine, whatever, I don't care. But all the women are like, just because, you see hair that's different from yours doesn't mean you can touch it. And I don't, and they for some reason felt offended that people wanted to touch their hair and stuff. And for me, I'm like, I think that's a compliment. I mean, like, obviously, like, "Oh, can I touch your hair? Is it real? Da da da." Like, I mean, yeah, I could see where it could be taken as an offensive thing, but at the same time, like, you can get offended literally for anything nowadays. If somebody calls you a boy or a girl, people get offended. So it's ridiculous. My thing though is, I feel like when you travel, you have to be by default open-minded, and a lot of them were open-minded when they traveled, but there were some things that happened to them that I felt like they kind of refused to understand. Now, there were some very serious things that did happen to some of the people that made those videos. They gave a very vivid description of what happened. One of the girls I watched, she said that she was on, and she's actually from Germany. She's half like black, half German. And basically she said that like she was on a bus with her father, and her father was taking pictures of like, you know, outside and stuff, and one of the ladies on the bus got up and reported him to the bus driver in hopes that he would get kicked off the bus and stuff. And she's like, why go out of your way to do something like that? But I've also heard too, that was something that I kind of thought in the back of my mind, whether it was racist or not, right? I feel like there are just people in Germany that I've heard of that like just do that. You know, people like the people say Alman, right? But it's like the most German, like the most German, the super German people. You know, like older people typically, but it could be younger people too. I don't know. I haven't lived there, so I'm just going off of what I've been told from the community, that there are people that'll go out of their way to they're like mini law, and they're like, they're not law enforcement, but they think they're law enforcement, so they want to enforce every standard that is set in place. So they decide to go and like I said in my other videos, dry snitch. Remember that term I used, dry snitch on people that are doing their own thing, minding their own business, and literally not bothering anybody. So I know that. There were other issues as well that were brought up, as far as people talking about being followed around in stores and stuff like that, and this, that, the other. Now, I have experienced that myself in Korea. So there are some, and I made a video on this too, if you guys want to check that out. I'm too lazy to link it here, so you probably just have to type of James Bray, black in Korea, blah, blah, blah. Well, because I did have my experiences there, you know, and I know every country is different, but I know Korea, it felt like there were moments where, you know, the people there, it was mainly the men that were definitely racist, but I didn't let that affect me. You know, I'm very positive. Like, you could literally beat me down and I would still have a smile on my face, you know? So what I say always going into a new situation, because I know a lot of people have told me like, hey, not to burst your bubble, man, but I've heard things from Germany's not that, like, from people living in Germany, that are natives, right? I've heard things from Germany's actually not that great, like, quit hyping it up, to just make sure you avoid East Germany. You know, there's a lot of like, really, it's not good for black people, trust me. And I trust me, I know, I've heard a lot of stories. I've heard a lot of stories about that. But you have to think, I'm thinking from a big picture here. I feel like living in America being black, depending on where you are, and living in Germany being black is night and day. Right? You can have them. I told somebody, and I stand by this. You can pick the most racist part of Germany, and you don't have to worry about getting shot and killed for being black. I mean, you could have an entire like group of people that hate black people, and you don't have to worry about being killed because you're black. You still have to worry about that here. That is a very real issue, that people like to sweep under the rug. It's brought to light thanks to the internet, of course, but depending on where you live, that can become a very real reality. And to the point that the local government is in on it too, you know? So you try to report to the police, they're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it. And then you turn up missing, and they hide your body, close the case, Case in point, there was an individual, African-American individual, that was murdered by a white male in a high school, and his dad worked for the police department, right? He told his son, because his son like roid raged in the gym, and I guess like wound up hitting this kid over the head with a heavy weight plate, right? And you know, he told his dad, he's like, oh my god, I killed this kid, like I don't know what to do, So his dad's like, hey, his dad was a police officer, so he's like, hey, like, you know, a lot of where they find your DNA is like your intestinal tract, your teeth, all those things, right? So literally, they took his body to the woods. They opened up his stomach and they took out his insides. They burned his insides. They took out the guy's teeth, burned his teeth, and then they tried to bury him and have him like decay somewhere in the whatever. So the case didn't get closed for a while. But just all to say, like his dad also had some police in on it too, and they kept it hush hush until somebody found out what happened, and then they suspected foul play, and it all got brought to light. I'm pretty sure you don't have to worry about stuff like that in Germany. Not to say that it can't happen, but the probability of it happening in Germany is very low compared to America. And in that regard, I feel like I live by the motto, expect the worst and hope for the best. I expect some unfortunate things to happen when I get to Germany. Like, that's just something I know will happen, because you're in a foreign country. The odds are already against you as a foreigner, not as a black person, but as a foreigner, you know, because you're just not from there. So whether it be people not liking you or just the fact that you don't know how to speak the language, which makes communicating very difficult. There's so many different aspects, and maybe just adapting to the culture. Maybe you're used to using a credit card more than cash, and the society you're in is a cash-based society, and you find it very hard to adapt, because maybe where you grew up, people got robbed for cash all the time, so people would carry cards instead. So it's just one of those things. There's a lot of elements you have to think about when you're looking at these experiences, and I thought it was very interesting, because the more I looked into these videos and I started noticing similarities across all of them, I'm like, oh, you can sum up, I'd say 40% of the videos to just basic cultural differences. I mean, think about it. If you've grown up, if I grew up around black people my entire life and I see a white person for the first time, I'll kind of be curious about like their hair texture, maybe certain behaviors, like little things, you know, and vice versa. Like, it's genuinely being interested. Now, I know there's people who have like a very pack mentality, and they don't like people outside the pack coming in, and it feels like to them that they're being infiltrated in a way. So I see that side of things too, which is why you stay away from people like that. You know what I'm saying? But all to say, I just feel like there are so many ways to look at this picture, and and it's unfortunate, because for the videos that were made, I'd say about like 60% of them, their experiences got ruined by one or two experiences that really impacted them negatively. And like I said, I'll never know what it's like to be in their specific shoes, but I am also black myself. So I mean, I've had some things happen to me, and I choose to not let it affect me. People have called me all kinds of wild names, but I mean, bruh, words off, like just boing boing boing. Like I wish people could understand the power that you give words. If you give words power. If somebody calls me a wild name, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, I don't care. I'll just keep moving on, whatever. But, you know, it gets different when people start putting their hands on you and da-da-da-da. Like, if you feel like your life's in danger, fight back. But I've also heard about that, too, in Germany. Like, defending yourself can be a little complicated. Like, it doesn't matter if you're defending yourself or not. You can still get jailed for fighting back. Same thing in America. It doesn't matter if you're defending yourself or not. You can still get jailed for fighting back. So it just makes things a little sticky. So you got to read the room, read the situation, and act accordingly. But all in all, like I said, I saw a lot of common cons per se. Obviously, like as far as things that were like I noticed that were pretty huge. I listed off most of those already. They were just a few, so not anything super, super, super crazy. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because I did see that in some of those videos, they had the comments and the likes disabled because they didn't want to get hate. I'm like, listen, man, I know like most Germans aren't racist. And even if that was the case, right, there's got to be a reason why everybody I know wants to stay in Germany. Like, there's got to be a reason, and I want to experience that for myself. I've always been a very open-minded person, and I don't believe that everybody's racist. I don't believe it. Like, that's like saying everybody in America is racist. That's like saying, like, you can't say that. Like, it's not true. It is not true. You always have bad apples wherever you go in the world. You can't escape that. There's always going to be people that love to judge, love to operate with a closed-minded mindset, and it only affects them and them losing out on a lot of benefits of getting to know people that are outside of their demographic, you know? So all in all, my conclusion is a lot of the things that were said in those videos, I can see where they're coming from, but from like an outside perspective, I also see that I think they misread the situation in some of those experiences, simply because I feel like it boiled down to cultural differences, and then it also boiled down to actual experiences that they had that were very unpleasant. You know, the last thing I'll touch on before I leave is the customer service. So I did hear Germany's notorious for not having the best customer service, and you know, that's from what I've heard. You guys can co-sign on that, or let it be based on like your own personal experiences. Let me know. But all to say, the biggest things I've seen between all those videos, they said avoid small towns because people in small towns will typically not be as accepting as big cities. Big cities, for the most part, like 90% of the people are very accepting of foreign cultures, but small towns, they like to know everybody in the town. So knowing that, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's the same here. People in small towns don't like outsiders, period. It doesn't matter if you came from the next state over. They don't like outsiders, particularly, you know, your boy. But like I said, I don't buy a lot of it, but I do respect their situations and stuff like that, and I see where they're coming from. I only make this video, though, to let you guys know I'm not scared at all of anything that is out there, because I understand it's just a different climate. It's a different climate. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad, and everything in between. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts and feelings down below. If you have any black friends that are German, or people that you know that are foreigners that are friends that have visited. If you're a foreigner yourself that have also visited Germany, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This video ran a little longer than usual, but I thought it was an important issue I should talk about because it's something I've seen in my recommendations. YouTube, what is up with you, YouTube? Giving me a lot of black in Germany videos to just pop up. They're just all in my suggested videos. I'm like, what the heck? And it happened out of nowhere. But anyways, that's the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And until the next time I see your beautiful faces again. Hey, what's up? Did you guys subscribe to the channel? Did you subscribe to the channel? Well, if you haven't, make sure you do that. Also, we do have a Discord. The Discord link is always going to be in the description down below on any of my videos, and it's dope. What we do on Discord is pretty simple. A lot of you guys I'm collecting you guys from a bunch of different countries, a bunch of different places, and you guys want to teach me a whole bunch of stuff. You guys can join the Discord and teach me anything. You can send me any kind of messages and stuff. You can actually post memes. You could participate in the community and just make friends. Just go ahead and join the Discord and see what kind of situation you're getting into for yourself. Also, there's going to be some giveaways in the future. There's going to be some giveaways, but to create some incentive for that, I need you guys to follow me on Instagram. Are you guys following me on Instagram? You know what my Instagram looks like? You probably don't know what my Instagram name is. It's right there. Just go ahead and check it out. Check it out. Check it out. It's dope. Just follow me on Instagram. I do live streams every day. I try to, you know, engage with you guys in every way possible. I know not a lot of creators are very engaging with their fan base. I try to be engaging. So just go ahead and check it out. There's no harm, no foul. Follow me on Twitter too. I honestly am trying to grow my Twitter, but I don't really post that often on there. But when I do, you guys will be the first to see whatever post those will be. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys want shout outs or whatever, I don't know, we have a lot of upcoming independent artists that have been hitting me up as of late. I might create a series where I favor my international independent artists and stuff, and I might promote you guys for free, but it might just be 1 or 2 a week, you know, and you guys can give me some feedback on that. But all to say, follow me on my social medias. All right, if you guys aren't doing that already, you need to do that because that's a pretty big deal. I'll see you guys later, but enjoy the content I create. It's gonna be random reaction videos, a lot of everything. Reaction videos, vlogs, challenges, cooking videos, gaming videos, anything you guys suggest when you join my Discord or message me on Instagram. But I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Follow me. Peace.